Capture the untamed beauty. Wildlife photography tips.
5 tips for photographing wildlife, according to an expert.
According to an expert photographer, shooting in manual mode, not auto, can help get clear pictures of moving animals. According to a Big 5 wilderness guide, here is a brief guide on how best to photograph them. Number 1. Know your camera. Before departing for a safari trip or wildlife-filled getaway, read your camera manual front to back, and ensure you can manage it in manual settings, not auto. Spend time learning about your camera's buttons and all their functions. New camera models are programmed with more technology to work in your favor, but it's important that you know the basics. Learn about the light triangle, ISO, aperture, and shutter, and use manual mode to find out how to balance these. On safari, you will need to be able to master these to achieve clarity and exposure while controlling the depth of field. While you can't control your environment, you can control the output, so learn to adapt these 3 controls, and you're in good shape. If you're entirely new to photography, take a beginner's photography course or speak to your local camera shop before your safari, as shooting in manual can be challenging. If you're not quite ready to shoot manually, your DSLR camera allows you to shoot in program, aperture, or shutter modes, which are semi-automatic and, when used correctly, can also yield a good result. But don't let manual mode scare you. With some practice, you'll know how to control the settings for that special shot that is entirely yours. Get as much practice shooting as possible before your trip. Take your camera out and shoot whatever and wherever to get comfortable with all its settings and the various elements your environment can present, such as harsh or scant lighting. Number 2. Get the right camera and lenses. Use a good quality, full-frame DSLR or mirrorless camera. Our expert uses a Nikon D850. If it's your first safari, and you're not ready to invest in or decide on one camera, renting your equipment might be better for you. A full-frame photosensor, a digital sensor replicating the size of classic 35mm cameras, as opposed to a crop sensor that produces a tighter field of view, is handy for low light conditions and night shots, so you won't need to worry when capturing those leopards and lions after dark. Also, bring a handful of lenses to pair with your camera. A good quality fisheye lens, macro lens, for taking photos very close to a small subject, 70 to 200mm f2.8 lens, for shooting mid-range subjects, and a good zoom lens 200 to 500mm with at least f4, the aperture, which affects the depth of field and amount of light entering the camera, and higher will do. Number 3. Get up and out early. The best animal sightings and wildlife shots happen early in the morning, which is why game drives typically start before sunrise. The night before, make sure to have all your camera gear ready to go and charging. Don't forget your memory card or extra battery pack if your camera comes with one. Shooting before sunrise offers the bonus of photographing wildlife backlit against the rising sun, which adds depth to your photos. This is the opportunity to capture images that benefit from golden light, side lighting, and direct light. You can gradually experience the effect of blue light, yellow light, golden light, and other types of changing lighting while sitting in the same position, hitting the same subject but getting different results. Number 4. Look for the eyes. When you are eye to eye with an animal, your excitement level will rise. It's an experience you will never forget and is even better when you can capture the wildlife looking directly at you. Taking a portrait of an animal is like taking a portrait of a person. Focus on the eyes. Be aware of your lighting and where it is coming from. The direction of the light will determine if you'll need to adjust your settings or ask your guide to reposition your vehicle for the best angle. Remember to keep your camera focused on the eyes. If your camera has focus tracking or face detection, then it will be easier to focus. You want the eyes to be sharp, for they tell a story and bring your photo to life. Shoot low, not high. When it comes to angles, low is always better, low to the ground, at an upward angle. Angles can make an animal look bigger and more impressive, enabling a greater silhouette. Considering bringing a monopod, essentially a single-leg tripod, you can mount your camera to it and lower it to the ground from your seat in the safari vehicle to achieve a leveled shot. There you have it. I hope you learned 1 or 2 things about wildlife photography. Be sure to leave your comments below. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.